The evening rush at Harbor Light Cafe always felt like a storm orders flying. Customers calling, plates clattering, but tonight the air felt heavier, charged, almost dangerous. And Lena Cruz, balancing a tray of steaming bowls while weaving between tables, knew exactly why. Two men, two very different men, both watching her like she was the only woman in the room. One with longing, one with hunger, one with soft eyes, one with eyes that didn't blink, one who wanted her, one who studied her, and she, a waitress barely holding her life together, didn't know which unsettled her more. At table 8 sat Noah Hale, the quiet single dad who came in every Thursday with his little daughter, Rosie. Noah had warm, tired eyes, the kind that softened whenever Lena approached. He always tipped well, always asked about her day, always smiled shyly like he wanted to say more but didn't know how. And in the corner booth, the one with the perfect line of sight, straight to her station, sat Adrian Blackwell, billionaire, CEO, the kind of man whose name could open doors or close throats. He wasn't supposed to be here. Men like him didn't eat at diners. They sent people to fetch things for them. They didn't sit in cracked leather booths under fluorescent lights. But Adrian had been coming every night this week, and he always asked for her section. That alone made Lena's pulse jump. She set down Noah's order gently. Grilled chicken for you, and extra fries for Rosie. Rosie beamed. Thank you, Miss Lena. You're very welcome, sweetheart. When Lena looked up, Noah's eyes were on her, not in a way that trapped her, but in a way that warmed her. You're a lifesaver. She's had a rough day. Lena smiled softly, happy to help. But when she straightened, a different gaze caught her from across the room. Sharp, cold, calculating Adrian. His jaw tensed the moment he saw her talking to Noah. His fingers drummed lightly on the table, a rhythm too controlled, too deliberate. Lena tried to ignore him, but her skin tingled with awareness, his awareness. She walked toward his booth, each step tightening the knot in her stomach. Good evening, Mr. Blackwell, she said, keeping her tone professional. Your usual? His eyes flicked from her face to Noah's table, then back to her. Yes. No greeting, no smile. Just a low voice that somehow still scraped something deep inside her. She scribbled the order and turned to leave, but his voice stopped her. You know him? Lena blinked. Who? His jaw flexed. The man with the child. She tried not to react. He's a customer. That wasn't my question. Heat crept up her neck. Mr. Blackwell, with respect, my customers' personal lives aren't your concern. And yours? He asked quietly. Lena froze. His words weren't teasing, they weren't playful, they were probing, like he wanted to know exactly how much space he had in her world. She lifted her chin. My personal life isn't your concern either. For a moment, just a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Hurt, maybe, or warning. Then it disappeared. Of course, he murmured, though the words were tight, strained. Just bring the usual. Lena walked away, but she felt his gaze like a hand on her back. At the coffee station, her friend Maya nudged her elbow. So which one's going to break first? Lena nearly dropped the mug. Excuse me? Maya jerked her chin toward the dining room. The single dad keeps staring at you like you're the last good thing in his life. And the billionaire looks like he wants to buy the entire cafe just to keep you here. Lena swallowed. It's not like that. Sweetheart, it is exactly like that. She finished pouring the coffee, heart pounding. She didn't ask for any of this. She didn't want men fighting over her. She wanted a quiet life, a steady paycheck, and enough peace to sleep at night. But life had never cared what she wanted. When she returned to Noah's table, Rosie had ketchup smeared on her cheek. "You got a little something there," Lena said warmly, wiping her chin with a napkin. Rosie giggled and leaned against her. Noah's eyes softened even more. "You're really good with her," he said quietly. "She's easy to love," Lena replied. Their eyes met, holding just a second too long. Noah looked down quickly, flustered. He never pushed, never crossed a line. That was what made him dangerous in his own gentle way. He made her feel safe, and safety was something she didn't trust. "Let me know if you need anything," she said, stepping away. But halfway across the cafe, she felt it. Heat, intensity, possession, Adrian. She turned slightly, and there he was, eyes locked on her, fingers curled around his glass, so tightly she thought it might crack. She forced herself to walk to his table. "Your food will be out soon," she said gently. Adrian leaned forward, voice low. "Do you always smile at him like that?" Lena blinked. "What?" "When you talk to him," he said, jaw tight, "your whole face softens." "That's called doing my job," she snapped. But Adrian didn't flinch. He studied her like he was mapping every reaction. "No, it's different." "Mr. Blackwell, please." "Does he matter to you?" he whispered. Lena's breath caught. "Why do you care?" Adrian's voice dropped, barely audible. "Because I don't like the way it feels." The confession stunned her. He didn't like it. He didn't understand it, but he felt it. Before Lena could respond, a small voice called from behind her. "Miss Lena, Rosie." The child ran over, wrapping tiny arms around Lena's waist. Noah hurried behind, embarrassed. "Rosie, sorry, she wanted to say goodbye before we go." Lena knelt, hugging Rosie gently. "Good night, sweetheart." Rosie kissed her cheek, innocent and warm. Lena felt Adrian go still behind her, completely still. When she stood again, Adrian's expression was unreadable. Ice and fire, restraint and fury, possession and vulnerability. And for the first time, Lena realized she wasn't trapped between two men. She was the storm they were both walking into. Lena stood frozen for a moment, watching Noah gently guide Rosie toward the door. The little girl turned one last time and waved, her smile bright and innocent. Adrian didn't move, didn't blink, didn't breathe. Not until the door closed behind them. Only then did his jaw tighten, the muscle pulsing once sharp, angry, hurting. Lena exhaled, trying to steady herself. "You can't keep doing this." "Doing what?" Adrian asked softly, but there was nothing soft about the way his eyes pinned her in place. "This," she whispered, "watching me like I belong to you." His voice dropped as he stood. "Maybe you do." Her breath hitched. "You don't get to say that." He stepped closer. "Then tell me what I can say." She shook her head, stepping back until her spine brushed the counter. "You're a billionaire. I'm a waitress. You don't want me, you want something to chase." Adrian's expression shattered into something dark and wounded. "You think that's what this is?" "Isn't it?" she whispered. "No," he said, voice low, steady, dangerously honest. "This is me wanting something real for the first time in years." Her chest tightened. "And him?" Adrian asked, tipping his chin toward the door where Noah and Rosie had left. "Does he want something real too?" Lena swallowed. "Noah is kind, safe." Adrian's eyes darkened. "And I'm what? The danger?" "Yes," she whispered without hesitation. A long, tense silence hung between them. The cafe lights hummed softly, casting shadows across his face. Adrian stepped closer. "You're afraid of me." I'm afraid of what you make me feel. He froze. The admission had slipped out before she could stop it. Heat shot up her neck, her heart hammering in her chest. Adrian's breath shook as he whispered, "Then tell me I imagined everything." "I can't." He moved closer and closer, until she felt his presence like heat against her skin. But he didn't touch her. He held himself still, tensely, respectfully, impossibly in control. "Lena," he murmured, "I would never hurt you." She believed him. That was the problem. Her eyes stung. "And Noah, what about him? He's been through so much. He wants me too, Adrian. But he would never fight for me. He would never demand attention. He would never drag you into a world you didn't ask for," Adrian finished quietly. She nodded. Adrian's jaw clenched. "And yet here you are, looking at me like you already know which one you want." Her breath caught. "Adrian." But before she could finish, the cafe door chimed. Both turned. Noah stood in the doorway, rain dripping from his jacket, breathing hard like he'd run back. "Lena," he said softly, voice trembling. "I didn't want to leave without saying this." Her heart dropped. He looked between her and Adrian, pain flickering in his eyes, but he didn't step back. "I care about you," Noah said. "More than I should, more than I expected. And I don't know what you feel, but—" He swallowed. "I needed you to know." Adrian stiffened beside her, silent, his gaze sharp and unreadable. Two men, one heart, and Lena right in the center. Noah stepped forward, voice steadier now. "I don't want to fight him, I don't want drama, but I'd rather be honest than stay quiet and lose the chance." He took a breath, rain dripping from his curls. "I like you, Lena. I really do." Lena's chest tightened painfully. Adrian's whisper brushed her ear. "Say something." But she couldn't. Her voice was gone. Her choice impossible. Her feelings a storm she didn't know how to hold. Noah waited. Adrian watched, and Lena stood there, caught between the man who made her feel safe and the man who made her feel alive.